Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenaye, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Well, I thought it was going to be a little bit warmer out because they say it's spring, but we're at Truxton Park with Alexandra Trasati. Did I get that right? Is it Trasati or Trasati?
It's Trasati. You got it correct.
Okay, good. I got it right. I'm always glad when I can do that. But you are the owner of a brand new business in Annapolis called Sailor's Dog Walking and Pet Care.
Yes.
And we learned about you on Facebook a little bit, and we wanted to talk about you because this is cool. We like to talk about businesses, especially new businesses in Annapolis. And it's kind of cool because you're not like the typical business owner that's been in business for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And you are a local young person here who started out and took this leap of faith and started your own business.
Yes, thank you. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, first things first, you want to go to sailorspetcare.com, and that's the website. It's SAILORS petcare.com. And it is exactly what it says. It is a pet care service. And I guess where did this come from? I'm going to presume that there's a love for animals in your heart. I don't think you're probably doing it for the money necessarily, but it's the love for animals. But where did that love for animals come from you?
Yeah, so I've always been around pets since I was a young age, from family members to, neighbors. So I've always been around, animals. I've always just had a love for them, too, at a young age. And, when we were able to first get Sailor, when I was a sophomore in high school, he kind of really just helped me grow my passion for pets and just kind of understand, how amazing, they are. I love seeing their personalities and just love meeting new pets and just seeing them, grow and, and I love just taking care of them. So.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Now, do you have a favorite? Okay, Sailor is your favorite pet, I'm going to say, because you've named your company after that. But do you have have you had other pets? Do you have other, are dogs your favorite as opposed to cats? Or I
love them both. We actually have a cat at home, too, that we adopted her in
but they have
2020.
attitudes.
Yes.
They're horrible.
Yeah, she's very different. She definitely has a little sass and some attitude, and But I love just and then they also come and give you cuddles. They want the love, so it's really nice to just kind of see that too.
Well, what drew you to start Sailor's Pet Care? You said you've had this love of animals all your life, and sort of sealed in high school, which probably wasn't too far too far removed. But what made you say, hey, I want to start a business?
Yeah, so for a few years, actually, I kind of wanted to take this career path. It was just a little bit harder when I was in school, trying to, complete my college education. So when I my last semester at University of Maryland, which just happened last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a bummer that you did it in COVID, but,
it's what you have to do, but... Yes, for the past 7 months while I was doing school, completing my last semester, I was working on the business and figuring out all the little nitty-gritty things, figuring out what services I want to offer, figuring out the forms, and just, kind of figuring out the software, what I wanted to do, the website. So it was a lot of planning that I kind of took to, get it kind of started for January.
Do you think you got all the nuts and bolts that you needed to do? Or are you discovering them as you go along?
I'm doing a little bit of both. I'm discovering a little bit of things that, I might need to add or change or, kind of get an idea of what people would like to see and just the feedback. But also, I think I got the basic stuff kind of completed.
Well, that's good. Well, you mentioned what people would like to see and everything else. Let's get into the nitty gritty. I'm assuming that you do walk dogs.
Yes.
And that's is that just the basics of it?
Yeah, so I do a lot of different types of services. I'll do dog walks, cat care, day visits. I'll take your dog to the vet if you can't. If somebody comes up, yes. So if something comes up, or you're running late, I can take your dog to the vet, and I actually stay with your pet at the vet. So they have someone there and they feel comfortable, and then I'll take them home for you. Or we offer a service called Bark to the Park, which I'll take your dog to Quiet Waters Park. You can pick between, having your dog run around in the dog area, the dog park, or, I take him on a walk through the parks.
Nice.
Give him some fresh air and something new.
Well, and that's in addition to, I mean, basically dog walking. I mean, if God forbid I ever worked like in Northern Virginia and I was down, 45 minutes away and long commute and everything else. I mean, you can come in, once during the day and give them a walk and.
Yep. Yep, and also our walks include a GPS tracking, so you can see where I walk your dog. You can see when I clock in and out, and then I do a little report card, and I also add photos of your pet too.
The technology makes it so easy and so wonderful, I guess, because I read an article a long time ago that said that people without kids proportionately will spend more money on their pets than people with kids would spend on their kids. And I don't think it's dollars. There's some proportion, but it was just it's an astronomical number. And you see all of the different the pet businesses that are popping up, and the dog stores and the pet care sites and everything else, and it makes all the sense in the world, because I know my father lived in Florida and he had a woman that took care of his dog when he went away, because he didn't, God forbid, he wouldn't put him in a kennel. And she rolled up in a Rolls Royce. I mean, she would stay overnight and everything else, and it was he was very comfortable with her, as was the pup. But do you do overnights?
Yeah, so we offer overnight services too, which we'll say in your home. And,
do you eat our food?
I mean, I try not to. I try to bring my own. But yeah, so I'll come and stay at your home from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And then, I include a dog walk in the afternoon, like a check-in and let them out. And I'll come back at your feeding time.
Okay, and it's pretty much all what the animal needs. I mean, if there's medicine, if they need to get medicine and stuff like that, you can handle that.
Yep. So I actually from Sailor, he actually kind of taught me how to administer seizure medicines, and I know how to do insulin treatments and check the glucose monitoring. And
why didn't you go into vet school?
I actually wanted to when I was like a little tiny kid. That's the first thing I wanted to do was be a vet, and then someone told me you had to stay longer in school. As a young kid, when you hear that, you don't. Right. You're like your mind changes. But I always wanted to do something with pets.
Very cool. Very cool. And again, I'm assuming that you're bonded and insured and stuff like
yes.
that, which probably goes with any kind of business.
Yes.
I know that you've got to establish yourself as a Maryland business and keep that in good standing and all that kind of stuff there as well. What other services? I mean, am I missing? I mean, it seems like a pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, we try to offer a variety of different services that will help people, in case you are on vacation or, you're stuck in traffic. We try to give both cat and dog the proper care. So,
is it just you?
Yes, currently, yes.
Currently, So what happens when you go on vacation? Obviously, you don't schedule dogs and cats to work on that week.
Yeah.
What happens when you get sick?
I haven't gotten there yet. I would probably let the person know, maybe figure out a way. I hope in the future to hire people down the road, so that would kind of help too.
Where do you see yourself in the future? I mean, obviously it's a little bit tough to look at right now because, you've been in business for a whopping 3 months.
Yes.
So where do you see yourself, 5 years or 10 years from now? Where do you
I hope to, eventually build a nice client base, build those relationships with my clients and their pets and have the trust that, they know their pets are in good hands. I just hope to hire some people to help me, along the way. If I'm doing an overnight service, have someone else be able to offer, overnight too. So, I'm not,
What areas do you cover now at this point?
So right now we cover Annapolis, Parole, Highland Beach, Edgewater, a little bit of Riva, and a little bit of Arnold.
Okay, so
it's like a 5 mile radius.
Okay, in general Annapolis and just a little bit over the bridges.
Yes, yeah. I try to stick within the Annapolis, but if someone needs me from Edgewater, I'll go over there, kind of thing. But
do you have a whole lot of clients now in the last month? Or a couple months?
We've kind of steadily grown our client base a little bit each month. So we're kind of, I guess...
Word of mouth?
Yes. A little bit of word of mouth and also, I guess, from Facebook.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you walk, my daughter lives in Manhattan now, and she's, you see these people walking with like 800 dogs, and I'm like, okay, first of all, they got to be very well-behaved dogs, because if they're my other daughter, she'd be like, ah! Yeah. Do you do, is that what you're doing when you...
Currently not right now. We don't do group walks. We try to stick with individualized care. So we just try to walk 2 dogs from the same household just for the safety of your pet and for my safety, just in case something does happen.
Right. Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the animals probably feel a little bit more comfortable when they're with their brothers or sisters
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. Other pet stuff. I mean, you mentioned you do cat care in the house.
Yes.
So, I mean, if I were to go away for a week or so, I mean, weekends cats are fine because you may not see them for 3 days under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
But, weekends I can leave food and water out and some treats and she'll be fine. But what if I go away for like a week? Would you come in and feed them every other day or
Yep,
something?
Of course, yeah. So depending on what the client would like and how many visits they think their cat would need, we do offer day visits for 30 to an hour day visit. We'll come feed them, scoop their litter, give them playtime, and just make sure that they get like all the love that they need. Or we offer the overnight pet sitting. We include cats too. With that, I just so like instead of the 25-minute walk in the afternoon, we would come in, just give them 25 minutes of attention and play with them and. Kind of if they
Nice.
need to be fed, we can do that kind of things.
That's great. Other pets, do you do exotics at all?
No, I'm not. I just haven't gained that experience yet with the exotic pets, so I'm just right now sticking with dogs and cats.
Okay, so the canines and the felines is the sweet spot for Alexandra. Not going to be feeding live mice to the snakes or anything like that.
I just don't have that experience, and I wouldn't want to put your pets in that spot with me not knowing what to do properly.
Wonderful. Well, what areas are you looking to expand when you get to the point? Now, obviously, you've got to feel comfortable growing. Anybody wants to check this out or actually needs a good... Now, how does the process work? I mean, because people are so particular about their animals. And I mean, it's like, you don't want the vet to be, the groomer. You don't want to make sure the groomer is nice and the pet's not like, oh my gosh, How do you work with you?
Yeah, so when someone first contacts me, I kind of just ask them, what services they need. Create your profile with our pet care software. So you fill out the information on our software so I can see exactly your pet, the needs that your pet needs, figure out your information and stuff. And then we also have forms that you fill out too. They're more extensive, kind of just to help us care for your pets, for overnight services.
Sure.
And then just a little bit more of your information. And then we schedule an initial consultation where I'll come meet you and your pet. We'll go over, the location of the items. I'll answer any questions you have, test your keys, and also just determine what your pet needs, figure out what the routine is.
For you personally, what's more important, meeting me or meeting my pet?
I'd say a little bit of both. It's nice to meet the person, to build that relationship, and then also the pet. I just love meeting them and just seeing their personalities. And I just love when they jump on you and they give you kisses and they wag their tail and they're just so excited to meet someone new.
It's a new person. And the butt's going back and forth in the tail. And That's always exciting. That's whenever I meet a new dog or something in my neighborhood, they're always like, "Oh, he's petting me."
I know, they get so excited. They're like, "Why are you stopping?"
Oh, she's got to leave.
I know.
This is wonderful. I think
Thank you.
If anybody has any interest or any need for it, and everybody really does at some point, whether you go away, whether you get stuck away, whether you work away, and it could be just a as needed basis or it could be a scheduled thing, but you want to go to Sailors Dog Walking and Pet Care. Sailors with an apostrophe S.
Yes.
Right. Now that with an apostrophe S, that means like the sailor, is he the owner of the company technically, or
I would like to
just
say
probably the boss?
Yeah, he's a little bit of both. I wanted to incorporate him in the business some way. So I thought having his picture and name, I thought that would be a great introduction to the business and have him be a part of it. He really doesn't say much, I can. But
he's definitely felt throughout, I'm sure, in one way or another. Sailors Pet Care, SAILORS petcare.com is where you want to go. Alexandra is here ready to take care of your animals, probably, I'm going to say better, but just as good as you can take care of them yourself, whether it's walking them or just checking in on them, giving them some playtime and everything else. I think it's wonderful. Is there anything else that we missed that we need to know about Sailors Pet Care? I mean, I know that, you're insured, you're bonded, you're registered, you've got all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted. Ready to go.
I mean, we're also certified in cat and dog first aid by the American Red Cross. So I took an online course, so I know how to take care of, dogs with seizures, preventive care, check their temperature, CPR.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Now, of course, we got the wind coming up here now. We got a hurricane blowing through, but that's really huge. So if something were to happen to your dog, if they were to get into, that jar of Hershey
Yes.
bars or something like that, you can take care of that
Yes,
as well.
yep. And then also we use a pet care software called Time to Pet, which does a lot of different things to help the clients and also us. You can do mobile scheduling, you can do in-app messaging. We do the invoicing, which is secure. All information's there, your pet information's there. You can see the walks, the report cards. The pictures of your pets are always there too. So the software is very neat too.
The report cards do great on the curve.
No, they're just questions.
And where do your dogs lie? Are your dogs mostly like B students on the report cards, or are they?
I would say they're all A's.
Good thing you didn't go into teaching. It'd be horrible. Alexandra, thank you so much for your time today. I apologize for hauling you out in the cold
No
here.
worries.
But you'll probably be out in the cold anyway. A lot of
I
times
am. Yep, in the winter especially.
SailorsPetCare.com is where you want to go to check it out. We did a little article up on Ion Annapolis. You can check that out as well. But the best places to go is to go to the source. And if you've got a dog or a cat, definitely give her a call. It's a great, and congratulations. I'd love to see younger people getting into business and figuring it all out for themselves. And I want to come back here if I'm still around in 20 years and see where Sailors Pet Care is.
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Ion Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.